So this is an ad hoc, unplanned addition to a video that was going to start out about car care anyway. I had a technical malfunction with my tripod. This leg wanted to fall off. This hose clamp and those two I rescued from a construction site. And it's good to have tools, by the way. The video continues momentarily.
You know, you got to think of your car as an investment, in a sense. I mean, people say that, but checking fluids once a week on a mechanical device that's as complicated as an automobile is not that much to ask. Think of it in these terms. I mean, an old car, this is 20 years old, an old car is going to break down at some point. Before it gets there, you should do what's reasonable to keep it running. Aren't you going to feel silly writing home to mom and saying, yeah, well, I had a pretty good car, but it developed an oil leak 3 weeks before it broke down, and because I didn't notice it. That's all I'm saying. Check the antifreeze. If you gotta buy one of these that's pre-mixed because you don't have the container, do that. After that, it's much cheaper to buy the full gallon and mix it yourself because you're mixing it with water available everywhere in most places. Check the oil. Usually I need about a half a quart a week. This week, I don't know why, but I check every week. See, all the other fluids. And once in a while, depending on your car, with this car, sometimes every tank, you can get this for about 88 cents, by the way, at AsteriskMart. But I add it to a tank of gas about once a tank or once every other tank.
Nampa Airport is much busier than the Boise Airport. Smaller airplanes. You know, I don't think you're supposed to be able to see the air. Anyway, I'd put the tripod away and forgot to mention, if you want to get really good gas mileage, you'll sacrifice a little comfort because your ride will be bumpier. Air these suckers up to 35. They can take it. That's in spec. You can get your gas mileage up a mile or two under some conditions. Definitely don't let them stay under pressure.
Now I'd like to bring your attention to the battery. This is a 2-year battery, also sold at AsteriskMart. Interesting, this is the third of these that I've had, not the third that I have bought, however. In a sense, I'm ahead because between the three, I've owned them for about 2 years. They keep failing. So, for one thing, I do not recommend buying a battery that fails. It's the cheapest, it's a 2-year, it's economy. But here's the problem. When you're dealing with a company that you bought your battery from, you're having battery trouble, you need to call them and they don't answer the phone. All of those people in that store and nobody ever answers the phone, dear God. Anyway, maybe that's not a place you want to buy a battery. However, also, when you take the battery in, you know it's been failing. They have a test they put on it. It's a quick test. And somehow they say, oh yeah, it's a good battery. Unless you insist. You know there's something wrong with the battery. And then they have another test that takes an hour or an hour and a half. They want you to shop. That's okay from their point of view. I don't know why it's like walking into a clinic with coronavirus and saying, I'm pretty sure I'm sick, and they give you a quick test that says, oh no, you're fine. How does that work? So, 2 reasons not to buy it. On the other hand, you give credit where credit's due. If you are the kind of person who buys caffeinated beverages at the convenience store that's also a gas station. If you do not have a subscription to Costco, that's the cheapest gas I know of in town. If you can't afford the $60 a year, right now in Boise, Idaho, as far as I know, is the cheapest gas. And also, when you walk into their convenience store, the prices on the items there are the same as they are in the store. That doesn't mean they're cheaper than anywhere. That means generally they're cheaper than they are at convenience stores. So, give credit where credit's due. Generally, look for value wherever you can find it. Cheaper than McD's. Happy to give a free shout out pro bono in the public good. Peace.